and welcome back to another live stream. Today we are beginning a new series for Ratchet and Clank 3. Sorry I'm a little late. I've been out today, as some of you who are regular viewers may know. I had my party for my 22nd last night with all my mates. So today's kind of been a little bit of a whirlwind in dealing with all of that and kind of the morning after type thing. So just quickly before we get into the gameplay, I will do some Discord post, and my webcam is slightly crooked. I will do a Discord and then Instagram, and then we will be good. Going live, can't see a goddamn thing. Going live with the first part of Ratchet and Clank 3 series. HTTPS Twitch TV/Bud4211. Right. And get that into the usual servers I post into. Juan. Two. Right. I'll just quickly do a Instagram, and then we'll be ready to start the game. Fortunately, today I do actually have the game booted up. Did not take me very long to get set up today at all. And we'll also make sure that we do a audio test. Actually, we'll do that first. It's always good to do that relatively always good to do that relatively early on in the piece. Hold on. Can I hear myself? The answer is no. Why not? How about now? I can't. Oh yeah, there we go. I can hear myself. I think I had my dial the wrong way. Yep, perfect. All right, awesome. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to Instagram. Josh, hello, my friend. How are you doing today? Right. Yes. Right. Nearly there, guys. Nearly there. Ratchet and... God, I need to learn how to spell, honestly. Ratchet and Clank 3 series. Link in bio. Now the hashtags. I've bitched about these hashtags before. Hashtags always annoy the hell out of me. But you need to do them because that's how you get the coverage. You can't. Alright, let's do Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank 3. PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3. Hashtag PS3. Hashtag PS2. Alright. And with that, post please. Why is... Oh, there we go. Why is my Wi-Fi playing up on my phone? I don't know. Anyway. Josh says, I am very early, meaning I might as well be asleep at the end. That's all right, my friend. That is perfectly all right. Didn't plan to be home on time, but unfortunately, yeah, was out until 15 minutes ago or something, and then I've just spent the last, 5 minutes catching up on all the stuff that's kind of been happening at Comic-Con, because of course Comic-Con is currently happening, and all the stuff with been catching up on with MCU Phase 4 and Star Trek Picard and all that stuff, because gotta love Star Trek. God, I can't speak to this afternoon, can I? I cannot speak. Alright, I need to change the camera controls. Pause. Thank you. Okay. Need to change that. Lock Strafe. Right, that's fine. And I need to go to normal. Beautiful. That camera movement is far too fast, but I'll probably get used to it really quickly. Alright, so that should do us. Josh says, also I ate cold pizza and puked it into a trash can and my dog just watched it happen. Well, you know, what else can he do? There's not a lot your dog can do. He's really just gonna sit there and just kind of watch it happen, unfortunately. So I was other day at work, I was bored, and at the time I think it was the day we did the final part of our Ratchet and Clank 2 stream series. And I was a little bored at work and decided to read a little bit on the development of some of the Ratchet and Clank games, and in particular I learned that the Lock Strafe mode in Ratchet and Clank 3 was put in primarily because of the multiplayer component. I also found out that the multiplayer component was built initially by a team of about 4, and they spent about 14 months developing it, and then because they had to ship the game, they gave it off to another development team who finished the rest of the multiplayer component in 60 days. So kind of some interesting stories about the development of this game from, you know, Ratchet and Clank 2. So I highly recommend you go and give it a read. It's quite fascinating, and I think you'll see some interesting little stories and some interesting little tidbits if you do decide to go and research a little bit into the development of this game. So, you know, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Josh said he legitimately wanted the pizza puke, that's why. Well, dogs are known for eating some questionable things. So, you can't fully blame him. I mean, he knew exactly what he wanted. My question is, did he eat the puke in the end? That's really the question that I have. Did he end up eating your pizza puke? Because if he did, then he achieved his goal. If he didn't, then he's probably a little disappointed and is now a sad boy. So, alright, so we're going to employ a very similar tactic to this game than what we did with Ratchet and Clank 2, which is we're not going to buy all the weapons. We're not going to go after all the gold or platinum or titanium bolts. I don't know what they're fucking called in this game. But where appropriate, I will definitely go after some secrets and some collectibles. Especially if I know that it provides me a little bit of financial gain. But yeah, we won't be buying all the weapons, and this is not an 100% playthrough, much like we did with Ratchet and Clank 2. It's just a casual playthrough of the campaign. And yeah, and we should be able to wrap this up within this week. And then next week, the good news is I found out that we'll be able to go straight onto Ratchet Deadlocked, because Halo Master Chief Collection isn't coming out, or the next flight, or the next PC beta, they call it a flight for some bizarre reason, isn't coming out until next month. So, good news for us. Josh says, no, it's one of those trash cans that has the step that opens the lid. Oh, well, you know, careful. He might learn how to use them. You know, your dog might easily learn how to use one of those bins. And if he does, he's a smart, you know, give him a feckin' medal because he deserves it. You know, give him a treat. Give him some good shit because if he is able to, you know, figure out how to open that bin, he deserves that puke, quite frankly. So tonight we'll probably go for, what's the time now? 3:42. So yeah, we'll probably go for about an hour and a half tonight. Yeah, we'll probably do about an hour and a half stream tonight, and then frame rate. And then tomorrow night we'll probably do about a 2.5 hour stream. So yeah, tomorrow will be good because we'll be able to start streaming at about 2:30, 2:45. Provided that I just go through my head mentally to check to make sure that I don't have anything on tomorrow afternoon after work. I don't think I do. I think I should be good. Yeah, I think I should be fine. Actually, one thing me and my mates were talking about last night at the party was they were kind of expressing how disappointed they all were that they didn't get to come and do some streams anymore. So there is a very good chance that some nights a week we go back to doing 2 streams, or there are some nights a week where I'm not necessarily going back to doing 2 streams a day because I've never done 2 streams a day, but there might be some days, not going to say this is going to be a constant thing, but there could be an upcoming period of time where you get 2 streams a day. So you get one at what is currently the normal time of about 3 o'clock in the afternoon New Zealand time, and then you get one at what was the old time of 7 o'clock with the gang that you may remember from various streams, including Cards Against Humanity and Minecraft Monday. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but it is potentially on the cards.
How are things on the front lines, soldier? Is that secret agent Clank?
Greetings, sir. We are here to help.
Well, this is an honor, and I see you brought
But
your
obviously,
chauffeur
we'll let you guys know if it ends up happening. I hope it does. I would like it to. It would be good if we can, because it would allow the guys to come back on and do the stream again, which they do enjoy. And then also potentially opens us up to doing a couple different games a week. My desk is so dusty and it's annoying. It's so annoying how much dust my desk gets on it. It's also how amazing how black just shows dust like a spotlight. But that's one of those things, I suppose. Alright, so do I really want the plasma whip? I'm not sure. I don't want it straight away. We might leave it because I do want to get the, what's it called? The N60 or something along those lines? Open the vendor. Yeah, the N60. Thought it was. Yeah, we want to get the N60, but the plasma whip, there are definitely situations where the plasma whip is helpful and useful, but I'm not sure if I want to use it right now. Now my question is, do they stay there? Do they go back up? Because I've always, if I go back into this room, do they end up going back up or do they stay there? It's an interesting little question. Right. Use this. That'll help us break some of these boxes really quickly. Because, hypothetically, if we're able to get enough bolts from this room, we should be able to go back and buy the N60 fairly much straight away. Yep. And then if we hurry our little ass along, destroy these bastards, and pick up the bolts from their corpses, then we should get a little bit of leverage. Right, let's go back and get the N60. Thank you. Right. Beautiful. So, yeah, obviously Comic-Con is on at the moment. And, you know, this weekend is the fest for all things geek and nerd culture. Marvel has just announced its Phase 4 plans, which, interestingly enough, doesn't just cover films. It's covering, you know, the Disney Plus streaming shows, as well as a new animated series, which is very interesting to see. But they've revealed the logos for most of the projects. And what I'm kind of glad about now is all these TV shows style, or yeah, the TV shows they're doing for Disney Plus are going to be more directly integrated into the MCU than stuff like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that was. Because even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Jessica Jones and those other Netflix ones, even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously wasn't a Netflix one, those were all connected to the MCU in the sense that they were in the same universe, but they didn't really reference the films that much, if at all. And I'm really glad that they are actually going to now be developing a series of shows which do directly reference the MCU. That'll be really good, I think, for a lot of fans who, especially considering, you know, if you look at the shows they're doing, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier, you know, Scarlet Witch and The Vision, Hawkeye, you know, those are all characters that, Loki, those are all characters that are directly connected to the MCU. It'd be a little difficult to, be very difficult not to connect them to the overarching story of the MCU. Also interesting to see that the Black Widow film is only going to take place between Civil War and Infinity War. I thought my theory for that film was that it was going to end up taking place prior to any of the previous MCU films. So it's going to take place before her first appearance in Iron Man 2. Now, that doesn't seem to be the case. Obviously, it's been announced, you know, when it's going to be set. But that was very interesting to read. That they decided to put it in that time frame. The other interesting thing was Fantastic Four is going to be in Phase 4. Surprising probably nobody. They also gave a tease for the X-Men, but the X-Men aren't going to come The X-Men are going to take far longer to integrate into the MCU than what I think we all realize. But they have announced obviously a Black Panther 2, and you know, they've said there's going to be a Black Panther 2, they've said there's going to be a Captain Marvel 2, they've said that there's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3, obviously. They've announced the Doctor Strange sequel, and it's the name is just ridiculous. Doctor Strange, what was it? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse Universe of Evil, or something along that line. A bloated title that doesn't need to be that long or that bloated. And then Thor: Love and Thunder.
Ratchet.
Natalie Portman coming back as female Thor. I can only assume that it's not going to be the same character that she played in the first two films. So it's not going to be the Jane Foster character. I'd imagine it's probably going to be a different character. Or maybe, you know, maybe through some miracle of MCU magic, Thor happens to become a woman for half the film. So, but the question that I have is, now that we know that Thor 4, good God, that's going to be such a tongue twister. Now that we know that Thor 4 is a thing, what does this leave for his position in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Because I want him to be in the next Guardians film, you know, the way they left it at the end of Endgame. I really hope that, as I'm sure a lot of you are probably hoping, that they do include Thor in Guardians 3, because it would work so well. It works so well. But, you know, it's ultimately up to James Gunn and whatever he wants to do, and, you know, we must trust in James that, you know, we must trust in James that he knows what he is doing, and that, you know,
Dr. Nefarious. They say you're the only man to ever beat him.
you know,
This guy's even dumber than
that he knows what he's doing, and
Yeah.
if he feels it's appropriate to include Thor, then he will. So, but we'll have to wait and see. But what's interesting is I've just opened up IGN to kind of check some articles to talk about. Kevin Feige has said no Avengers movie in Phase 4, which I find interesting. So, I wonder what that means. Oh, bugger. I wonder what that means. So, when's the next Avengers film going to be then? If that is the case, I wouldn't be surprised if Avengers 5 opens up Phase 5. I think that would make a lot of sense, actually, to have Avengers 5 open up Phase 5 of the MCU. Because, of course, now that we've had the first 3 phases, it just makes so much sense now to,
Quark has completely lost his
when you
mind.
think about it, to open up
Just keep the mask on. He thinks you are his new Great.
yeah, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. Please pause. I didn't ask for that video to play.
President has asked me to assist you.
Hi.
I see you have located Captain Quark.
Yeah.
We got
Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, fingers crossed, in the hope that Oh yeah, Avengers 5 to start Phase 5. That was my train of thought. Completely forgot. Today has just been one of those days, as I mentioned. We woke up quite late. I don't even know what time I woke up. I know I had to wake up at 6:30 to feed the cat, but after that, I don't remember what time I woke up. I want to say I woke up at... I want to say I woke up at 8. Maybe. I think I probably woke up at 8. And then we didn't go have breakfast until like 10:30. So I honestly can't fucking remember. Right, now do we have a save that will apply? Josh says, I made a Minecraft and Microsoft account. Oh, that's good. Have you invested in Game Pass Ultimate? Because Game Pass Ultimate's great. And also, you'll get a lot of... Depending on what you end up using both those accounts for, obviously... I would highly recommend you get Game Pass Ultimate, because I actually think that's a good value for money, especially if you have an Xbox One and a PC like I do. But,
These are your quarters. I set up
Minecraft's good. You'll enjoy Minecraft. I haven't touched Minecraft in... Oh, Jesus. When was the last time I touched Minecraft? Bloody hell. Oh, I think I touched Minecraft... You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the last time I touched Minecraft was the last stream we did for it, which would have been...
Great. Meet me on the bridge. This is the Phoenix...
I didn't even know, eh? I do not even know. My mother is banging doors. I think... I can't even be asked to go back and check when the last time I played Minecraft was. Let's just say it was a while ago. My brain's dead today. Completely and utterly dead. Completely and utterly gone.
You could disable help messages in the options menu.
What's funny is I don't have a hangover, but my brain just feels like mush. And I suppose you could argue, it's a Sunday, you've had a fun time the night before, you went to bed late. We did, actually. We did a 2 a.m. Macca's run this morning. Or overnight. Did a 2 a.m. Macca's run. It was fucking freezing. It was absolutely bloody freezing. We get to the McDonald's, we walk in, and it was a fucking bomb site. It was disgusting. There was crap everywhere. There was rubbish all over the place. The bins were full, and the staff didn't give two shits. Staff didn't give a shit at all. They were too busy trying to make food. And we were just blown away at just how disgusting the store was. Every table had a mountain of trash on it. Every table. And look, I'm usually one of the people who I do leave my trash at the table because I believe that, the people who work at the restaurant are paid to clean it up. That's part of their job. I've never seen a McDonald's like this in my life. I've never seen a McDonald's this disgusting in my entire life. And we have a friend, Sean, who works at McDonald's in the head office here in New Zealand. We sent him the photos. He is going to go to head office tomorrow on Monday and report, basically call it in. And what was funny is we were having a conversation with him this morning, because ironically we went and got McDonald's this morning for breakfast.
Triangle to cycle.
We were kind of saying to him, as someone who works in the head office, where does your authority start and end for the potential of walking into the kitchen and kind of saying something? And he said that in that situation, he could have gone into the kitchen and spoken with the on-duty manager and, you know, done something about it. Which, in retrospect, he was sleeping at the time when we went. He was sleeping on the couch at my house, and, you know, we went off to McDonald's. I wish we had gotten back from McDonald's, woken him up, and then taken him to McDonald's so he could see this. Once we found that out, we were all like, we should have woken him up and taken him to the McDonald's to see it. And then he could have gone all Mr. Boss mode, which would have been hilarious. Would have been absolutely awesome. Josh says, oh, that's just a regular day at McDonald's. Well, it might be in the States, but here in New Zealand, the McDonald's restaurants are typically pretty clean. It was so shocking to see, you know, to see what it was and just how absolutely disgusting it was. It was absolutely shocking. As I said, I've never seen it like that before in my life, so... Josh says, I think I know who did it. It was Ronald McDonald. That would have been great. Actually, Ronald McDonald is not really much of a figure here in New Zealand, at least these days. When I was a kid, he was more of a figure. But even when I was a kid, they really only used him for, you know, ads about, you know, doing up your seatbelt when you were going in the car. Other than that, they didn't really use Ronald McDonald as a sales tool or anything like that. To this day, Ronald McDonald is not really advertised. We don't have the characters over here. And again, I'm not sure how it is in the States. They might still advertise with Ronald McDonald. I'm not really sure. But here in New Zealand, nah, they don't advertise with Ronald McDonald whatsoever. So, whilst that would be awesome if it was Ronald McDonald who made the goddamn mess. You know, fuck, I don't even remember the last time I saw, you know, somebody dress up as a Ronald McDonald type character for a performance or anything like that. So, was quite surprised at just the mess of it all. But, you know, it's one of those great kind of little adventure stories you have as you kind of go about your day or your night. In our case, tried to pull an all-nighter, really did, but the reason I decided not to pull an all-nighter was because Sean was falling asleep. Sean was falling asleep. My friend Jade was falling asleep. Only Harry and my friend Kayla were still awake. And I just, you know, at about 2:45 in the morning, I just went, you know what? I could stay up and have like no sleep tomorrow, or I could get a few hours sleep and then have a better day tomorrow because I benefited from a few hours sleep. So I went to bed and I don't regret that decision. Would have been nice to pull an all-nighter, and I think had more people stayed the night after my party, then yeah, I would have done it. But fucking hell though, I don't know We had so many people here last night. So many people. A lot of space. Well, no, actually, no, we didn't have a lot of space. We had to fit quite a few people in quite a small space. Now, fortunately, we managed, but only just. Only just. But it was a fun night. It was enjoyed by all. Had a lot of fun, played a lot of Quiplash. Played some Trivia Murder Party. Played some guitar, sung some songs, jammed out to some music, did a little bit of dancing. Ate some food. It was a good night all round. Josh says, just imagine you wake up in the middle of the night and you see Ronald McDonald right in front of you. I don't know if that would scare me, to be honest. It'd probably freak me out a little bit, but I don't think I'd be, like, overly scared. But who knows? I could be wrong. I've never really been in the position where I kind of wake up to the idea of there being a face like that in front of me. And I've never been afraid of clowns. So... Josh says, and then it turns into a demon. Even still, I don't know. I suppose until I tried it, I wouldn't really know if it would scare me or not. Because the thought of it doesn't really scare me. But, of course, you know, thinking about it and it actually happening are two very different things. So, who knows? Would it scare me? I don't know. I feel more inclined to say no, it wouldn't scare me. But, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's a good question. It's an interesting thought. An interesting prospect. But then, of course, we need to establish what does the demon look like? What type of demon aesthetically are we dealing with? Are we dealing with the demon from the Tenacious D tribute music video? Because if that's the case, then I think I'll be fine. You know, something tells me I'll be fine. You know, there comes a shiny demon in the middle of the road. And he said, play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your soul. Oh no, wait, I'm shooting the wrong people. Whoopsies. Oopsie daisies. Oh. Gotta shoot the ships. Can't let them... Can't let them destroy our friends. Can't let them destroy our robotic friends. My friends, lend me your ears. I have a story to tell you about Mr. Mosquito. Now when you're in the tropics, beware of that tiny insect called Mr. Mosquito. He has a sting of death. If some of you are wondering, what the hell am I talking about? Go on Spotify or YouTube or whatever and look up Cousin Mosquito by Congresswoman Melinda Jackson Parker and have a listen. It's Cousin Mosquito #1. Have a listen to that and you'll know exactly what the hell I'm on about. You might also question my sanity after listening to it, but it's definitely an interesting piece of music. Anyway, Josh says, the demon, it looks like Ronald with a sliced mouth that resembles a smile, missing eyes and a long jaw. Yeah, I'm not sure fully that would scare me. But then again, you know, I'm the type of guy, I'm really nitpicky when it comes to horror or that realm of creature, be it a demon or whatever, just because I don't tend to find them scary. I'm the type of guy, if you take me to a horror movie like Halloween or Friday the 13th or It or whatever, I don't get scared. I'm just sitting there nitpicking about how unrealistically unreasonable the films are. I'm not one who can sit there and take it at face value, because I honestly think that horror films are ridiculously stupid, cliche, and don't really do anything that massively interesting from horror film to really switch it up and make it different from each other. Now, there are some more spoof horror films like Final Destination, and don't even get me started on Final Destination, because Final Destination actually is just awful. I don't know if any of you have seen Final Destination, but if you have, if you like it, then good on you. If you don't, then love to know what your thoughts are about it, because I'm not a big fan of Final Destination. I've only seen one, but I know about the rest of them, and none of them make me want to fucking watch another Final Destination film in my entire life.
Enemies appear red on the radar. Allies appear blue. Mission objectives appear green.
So, there we go.
Press square to attach the wrench.
Josh says, the demon will also have long arms and is a cursed suit using a corpse as a body and can decide what time it is, thus it could prevent the time it goes away. You know what? Actually, thinking about it now, this could be a great setup for a sitcom. You know? This could be a great setup for a sitcom featuring a guy and his demon. The new sitcom from ABC. Who you trying to scare? If we come up with a better name, we can call it something else. But for the moment, we're going to call it Who You Trying to Scare. It's going to be the new sitcom on ABC or NBC or CBS or whatever fucking network. And in it is going to be a show about a guy and his demon. And within the show, you see the various issues that the guy and the demon have to tackle together as they go about the main character's life. Because, of course, the demon isn't really going to have a life. You know, he's probably just going to be stuck in the apartment or the house. And then we have to question, do they live in an apartment? Do they live in a house? Which part of the city do they live in? If they live in an apartment, you know, is it uptown? Is it downtown? Is it midtown? You know, is it a flash apartment? Is it a kind of cheap ass apartment? Is it a mid-tier apartment? You know, what are we talking about here? I really wish I got some water before this stream because my throat is dry. Oh, apologies for the yawn. I'm clearly a little tired. Oh, I could have a stretch. Oh my god. Oh, that felt good. Little click at the back. Nothing that feels quite as nice as a slight click in the back when you do a little stretch. Nothing that feels that good. Josh said the demon can also change a building's layout to trap his victim inside it. Ronald McDemon. I don't know. Now I kind of feel the demon is starting to become a little cliche for me. See, when I used to study media, one of the very early genres they teach you is horror, because it's such an easy genre to make because the cliches are so what's the term I want to use here, that the cliches are so easily identifiable. Not only that, the cliches are very what's the word I want to use, easy to manage, I suppose. Easy to kind of get out. I don't know. But yeah, when we had to make short films in my 4th year of high school, because high school here in New Zealand's 5 years, we were told explicitly, make a horror film, because you will have such a difficult time making a comedy or an action adventure or something like that. You'll just have such a difficult time with it that there's really no point. For the very reason of that horror is just such an easy genre to manipulate and to create.
You can reverse the camera controls in the options menu.
So yeah, it's hard to explain. I don't remember exactly how my teacher explained it to me, but yeah, we were basically told, make horror films. Oh man, I'm gonna be in bed early tonight, I can tell you that much. Which is really annoying, because I've been really trying to get in a good play session at Kingdom Hearts 3 and I just haven't been able to whatsoever. Hopefully this week I'll be able to wrap that game up, because there's a whole bunch of PC games I want to start playing, including Metro Exodus, Prey. What else do I want to get through? I want to get Metro Exodus, I want to get through Prey, I want to get through Surviving Mars. There's just a whole bunch of PC games I want to get through. And I thought the best time to do it would be after I finish Kingdom Hearts 3. So actually, if I bring up the Xbox app on my PC, let's have a look. Come on, dude. Follow the light. Yeah, so I want to play Surviving Mars, Metro Exodus, Abzu, and Prey. So I'll be playing those once I finish Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm not actually that far off finishing Kingdom Hearts 3. I just have to find enough time to sit down and do it. Now, hopefully Tuesday will be that. Hopefully Tuesday I'll be able to sit down and finally get to playing those games, fingers crossed. So, well, at least finishing Kingdom Hearts 3, I should say. That should hopefully, fingers crossed, be the day I get to sit down and finish Kingdom Hearts 3, so I can move on to Metro Exodus, which should be a lot of fun, because I very much enjoyed playing Metro Last Light, I believe was the last Metro game I played. I think. I can't remember. I played it on Xbox One, I know that, because it was on Game Pass, and now that I have Game Pass for PC, well, I have Game Pass Ultimate, so I have it for console as well. So yeah. Anyway. Josh says, though, what's worse, clickbait or being used as meat for burgers? Well, I mean, both are not great. And I mean, both are probably just as damaging to the human race.
Hey, look, it's Al. Got the shield
One more...
Silence. I am concentrating.
One is more societal damage than it is Clickbait is more societal damage than it is like actual physical, you know, damage to human beings. But I suppose, you know, it could be looked at in multiple ways. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So, personally, I would choose clickbait over being turned into a burger myself. But, you know. No. You may want to be turned into a burger, and that's perfectly fine. You know. You know, if you want to be turned into a burger, I'm not going to say that you can't be, but, you know, I'm just saying, you know, you may not enjoy it once it happens. Oh, this should be good. I love it. I love it when I do posts on Instagram for the streams, because you get a combination of the comments, especially,
Watch and learn, Clank.
are quite funny,
Real hero gets it done.
because sometimes you'll get, you know, pages that are like, oh, you know, would you like an intro for your stream channel or whatever that crap. And it's kind of like, you know, that's just really annoying because, you know, a lot of those, you know, a lot of the particular comments are, you know, quite crap. But then you get some ones from some actual, you know, some decent people. So I'll kind of read out the decent ones. I got a guy here, Dylan Man F6, beat that game 100%. It was great. You know, that's cool. You know, that's good to see. Another person, I no sanity. Sorry if I'm butchering that pronunciation. Such a timeless series. This and Jack and Dexter are definitely my favorites. Now, the other interesting thing is if you read a little bit into, Ratchet and Clank, the game, the first game, yeah, all the games in the series are built on the same engine used in Jack and Daxter. So Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter built using the same engine, which is very interesting because obviously graphically they're very different. They control very differently. But yeah, no, both are running the same engine. And it actually allowed the improvements that Insomniac had made to the engine through the development of the original Ratchet and Clank. Because remember, the first Jack and Daxter came out in 2001. The original Ratchet and Clank came out in 2002. The improvements that Insomniac had made on the original Ratchet and Clank to the engine allowed Naughty Dog to make the changes that they made with Jak 2. Because Insomniac had better optimized Insomniac had optimized the engine better than Naughty Dog had, which is funny. You know, Naughty Dog couldn't optimize their own goddamn engine, which I find hilarious. But you know, that's really cool because it basically means that without, you know, both of those series, you wouldn't have some of the greatness that came from both those series. We're going to try and go after all the tokens, even though there's really no point, but we are going to try after them. All. Somewhat. So, of course, now it's fairly common for developers to share resources, but back then, not so much. So the partnership that Naughty Dog and Insomniac had established by kind of sharing resources that, you know, each one of them had learnt based off their various game developments allowed both studios to thrive in terms of developing better games, which of course is better for us as the gamer because it means that we get better games. And it's always good when you get better games. Whoops. There's a titanium bolt for our troubles. A little bit of health. We probably won't go after all the tokens and all the levels, but I mean, we'll go for them in some. Depends on how we go. Could use some health, please, Doctor. Ah, bugger. Oh, yeah, but... What the F? Safely aborted connection to 192.22 something or rather. 227.71.173 because it was infected with URL thing blacklist, whatever the hell that means. What the hell website am I on? Money. I don't know what is up with the Wi-Fi on my phone, but it is fucking awful.
I mean, I've worked on some real junk, but this one takes the cake.
It is not great today whatsoever.
So what do they think, we're idiots?
Hey, Professor, snap to it.
And it was fine. Well, then I've been on data most of the day. It was fine earlier. I don't know why the hell all of a sudden it's been a bitch. Right, let us go. Okay, we got 11 grand. Oh, we can get new armor. What have we got? We're done now. So we got about another half an hour of the stream to go, my friends. So if you're just joining us, welcome along. This is the first part of our new Ratchet and Clank 3 series, picking up from where we left off the other day, finishing off Ratchet and Clank 2. We're going to be working through Ratchet and Clank 3 this week, and hopefully finish that this week, so next week we can do Ratchet Deadlocked. And then depending on how well you guys like that and how well it's received, I may even go through and do the PS3 Ratchet and Clanks, because that is something that I've actually wanted to do very early on in my when I started making Let's Plays and started doing streams. Something I always wanted to do was playthroughs of all the Ratchet games. So, you know, if you guys like it, then we will do it, you know, so, because I haven't played Tools of Destruction in probably over a year. I did Crack in Time a couple months ago, and I haven't done Quest for Booty in God knows how long, haven't done All for One in God knows how long. Haven't done Q-Force in God knows how long, and I'm questioning whether or not I actually do Q-Force or not, and All for One, and maybe just stick to the quote-unquote mainline entries, the ones that actually play properly. You know, like proper Ratchet and Clank games, not ones that... Not ones that play differently from the other ones. Speaking of which, actually, thinking about it, Size Matters would be a dope one to do. I haven't played Size Matters in God knows how long. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I do not remember the last time I played Size Matters. And I used to play the shit out of Size Matters when I was a kid. Actually, another game that I'd actually like to play. Secret Agent Clank. I haven't played Secret Agent Clank in a long time. Reason being is because I would play it on my Vita, but it's actually not available digitally on the store in New Zealand, so I'm probably going to have to get it through my American account, and then what my plan is to do is to get my Vita TV, set that up with my American account, and then from there, I'll be able to play Secret Agent Clank, which would be really awesome. Or I could just go about it the cheap-ass way, and I could go about the cheap-ass way, download an ISO, play it on PPSSPP, and do it that way, which is probably what I'll end up doing. Even though I've said that I'd do that for like months now and just haven't gotten around to it. But the one thing I'd quite like to do, and I'm not sure if it's possible, and please someone do let me know in the chat if it is, playing Size Matters through either PS2, like, does the PS2 version of Size Matters give you up-down camera control? And if it does, is it possible to hack, or is there like some sort of cheat for the PSP version where you'll be able to get up-down camera movement if you'll, say, playing on an emulator with like a DualShock 3 or something? I don't know how well that was demonstrated that I'm holding a DualShock 3, but that's a better shot. Because I think I've only seen one YouTube video of the PS2 version being played of Size Matters, and I couldn't tell if you could do up-down camera control. But if you could, that would be really cool. Because it'd be interesting to look at that world in a different way. And look, you know, you can probably go into first-person mode and do it that way. Yes. But as you're kind of moving about, to give it that sort of more freeing camera experience. But what it is, it works well for the PSP. Obviously, but if you're playing it on a more powerful piece of hardware, you do kind of feel a little limited. When I first played Size Matters on my Vita, it was weird because instantaneously I wanted the up-down, you know, I wanted to be able to move the camera up and down. I wanted that control. And it was just amazing how I just felt that I just didn't have it anymore. So, you know, it was really interesting that all of a sudden, something that you take for granted in, you know, when you don't have the capabilities of being able to do it, in the sense of a PSP doesn't have a second stick, so you can't move the camera up and down. Then instantaneously you get the Vita, it's got 2 thumbsticks. You know, you play the game with 2 thumbsticks. You can map the second thumbstick to do the camera controls. Then all of a sudden, my brain was going, you know, I really want to map this so I can do up and down camera as well. And I couldn't. And it was really bizarre, and it felt really weird. So we'll do a few arena challenges. We won't do a huge amount, but we'll do a few. Just enough to kind of get us a few bolts. Because I think the next planet is Terranosis. I'm just trying to think what a new weapon becomes available on Terra Gnosis that allows... Yeah, what I'm just trying to think what the new weapon on Terra Gnosis that becomes available. And I can't think. Also, we will be going after some of the sewer crystals, not all of the sewer crystals. Probably won't be going after the ones in like where you need to get the Magna boots in order to reach them, because of course, for some bizarre reason, you don't get the Magna boots straight away. Even though I think in, I want to say, do you get the Magna boots straight away in Ratchet and Clank 2? I don't think you do you? We just played the game. I should remember this, and I've forgotten already. I think you don't. You have to do the first... I think you have to do the first hoverbike race, if what I remember correctly. Because you do that hoverbike race, and then you get the info bot for Planet Joba. Maybe. I'm not actually sure. Wow, it's literally been less than a week since we played Ratchet and Clank 2, and I've forgotten key details about the game already. Please don't let that speak to how good the game is, because Ratchet and Clank 2 is great. However, I will say, right at the beginning of the stream, we were saying, oh my god, these camera controls are way too fast. Now I'm used to them, and they're actually perfect. So, it's amazing how easily my opinion can change just by, you know, allowing myself to just ease into it slightly. Josh says, YouTube is in a downward spiral because the clickbaiters, liars, etc. get to the top while the good ones do horribly. Yeah, well, obviously, you know, we had this debate a few streams ago about the current state of YouTube, and, you know, look, I'll say now what I said then, is that, you know, we need to be able to educate people on what clickbait is, you know, what it is, what is clickbait, what isn't clickbait. That's step one. And then, you know, as I said, you know, the blame is not fully on YouTube's door. It's easy to blame YouTube, because also the other thing as well, guys, you have to remember is it's all about the balance of fair speech. I said this last time we had this discussion. It's all about balance of fair speech. These guys who make these videos, these clickbait videos, have every right to make these videos. And YouTube is under no pretense to remove them. Just because they're talking about something that, you know, you don't agree with, or you feel is disrespectful, or whatever, they have every right to say that under the rights of free speech. And we cannot take that away, because if we take away free speech, society becomes completely and utterly different. So, while some of the blame can be put on YouTube's door, yes, it also needs to be put to the blame of these people who make the videos, that they feel it necessary to do so, that they feel it necessary to make clickbait, and yeah, I don't know. Josh says, then why did YouTube introduce a policy you can't criticize other contents you can't criticize other content creators? Well, I've not heard of that. You know, I'm pretty up to date with YouTube's new policies. I know that a lot of people you know, I know a lot of people read a certain new policy and go, oh, it does this, when actually it's not doing that. I haven't heard that. But what I will say, if that is a thing, what I will say is that YouTube cannot do that, because under terms of fair use, a person or a piece of content is subject to criticism under the terms of fair use. Let me just Google this. YouTube content creator criticism policy. What's this? June 7th. What's this? YouTube's new policies designed to more aggressively tackle supremacist content have also led to some creators claiming their videos have been improperly removed or hidden in the process. They argue that YouTube is not distinguishing between actual hate content and blah blah blah. YouTube announced on Wednesday that it was taking strong measures to ban videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. So yeah, there is no policy that says you cannot criticize creators. That policy doesn't exist. I think that was probably something that was probably a clickbait thing you might have read. I don't know. But that policy that you say is there doesn't. There is a policy about the policy that I just read out, which is designed to target comments that are designed to discriminate against others. But yeah, there isn't a policy that states, you know, that you can't criticize creators. Again, that's against fair use. You can't do that. Josh says Combat Wombat said that and he doesn't clickbait, he critiques clickbaiters. Well, if you do a quick Google search, my friend, I can very much tell you that policy does not exist. There is no policy which states that Mr. Combat Wombat, good name by the way, great name, I like the name a lot, Mr. Combat Wombat cannot criticize people or creators or content. He's quite welcome to do that within the terms of he's quite welcome to do that within the terms of fair use. YouTube can't contain that. But if he is criticizing people of a certain ethnicity and making a certain comment about it that YouTube doesn't particularly like, then maybe in that case, sure. Josh says he made a community post on it. If you send me a link to that community post and I'll have a read and I'll see if I can try and clear up. See, let me read it and see what my take on it is, because I'm not 100% sure that YouTube cannot lawfully introduce a policy saying that you cannot critique other creators. It falls within the realms of fair use. They can't do that. Right, we're going to get the plasma whip. And let's get back to the championship. You know, Josh, send me through that post. Let me have a read. And yeah, we'll be able to determine what the hell is going on. Right, 24 rounds. Get a drink, everybody, because this could take a little bit of time. Not massively amount of time. Probably get it done in about 15 odd minutes, but actually, that'd be interesting. Maybe we do an entire stream where we just try like the 200, I think it's like 200 rounds or something. There's like a 100 round or 200 round challenge or something. That'd be an interesting little stream. Right, we're after the end of this round, we'll be a quarter of the way through. There we go. Right, quarter of the way through. And that probably didn't take us any more than what? 5 minutes? Right. After this round, we'll be a third of the way through. Alright. At the end of the next round, we'll be halfway through. The end of this round, we'll be halfway through. Wait. Inferno power. Right, timed round. It was probably a terrible time to pick up Inferno, actually, if a timed round was coming next. Okay, maybe not. Alright, one... Oh, Inferno, thank you. Right, at the end of the next round, we will be 3/4 of the way through. At the end of this round, we'll be 3/4 of the way through. We are now 3/4 of the way through. Welcome to commentary by Jared Hasten on stupid fucking numbers. Pointing out the blatantly obvious with Jared Hasten. On today's show, to be brutally honest, actually, I wish I could make a show called Pointing Out the Blatantly Obvious, and then what you do is in the show, you take videos of people doing stupid things, blatantly stupid things in obvious situations, and you point out the blatantly obvious shit that they've gotten wrong. So in other words, you're critiquing people. I'll have a look at this community post, Josh, once I've finished this challenge. We shall take a little look-see at what he... Mr. Combat Wombat. That name's great. Combat Wombat's such a great name. I like that name a lot. My name is Mr. Combat Wombat. He's got to be Australian. Gotta be Australian. He can't not be Australian. If he's not Australian, then his name should not be Combat Wombat. I'm just telling you right now, if he is not Australian, his name should not be Combat Wombat. I need ammo. Like, seriously, I need ammo. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Come on, dude, get down here with your metallic tits. Jesus Christ. Oh, I have a couple of spitting hydras. That'll finish her off. Right, then we go back to the N60, and hopefully this will finish him off. Alright, let's take a read of this post, shall we? Alright. What did you say it start with? It starts with, well, it's happening. Well, it's happening. It will appear that YouTube will be taking action against my creator harassment, basically meaning if you criticize another YouTuber, it's hate speech. My content isn't harassment, but YouTube will likely disagree. Knowing YouTube, this will likely mean the demonetization and or taking down of channels like mine. They even say you don't have to break the rules to be taken down. What's this link? What the fuck? Okay, first of all, okay, this has been taken way out of proportion. Oh my god. Okay, this is just another example of YouTubers taking shit out of proportion. Because they think... Oh my lord. Okay. Let me... Alright, here we go. Let me clarify exactly what's going on here, right? So for those of you just joining the stream, we're having a conversation about an apparent new policy that's coming in about content creator-on-creator harassment policies. Now, according to this article from a website that I've never heard of before called Reclaim the Net, which looks to be as legitimate as... Which looks to be as legitimate as a knockoff iPad, basically. Says that YouTube's chief product officer Neil Mohan has revealed that the company is working on new creator harassment policies will be announced later this year. Mohan made the announcement at VidCon 2019. This links to a Verge article. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. It's times like these when I realize people are really stupid. Okay. This is what it is. Let me outline this quite perfectly honest. Combat Wombat, I think... And Josh, I am not blaming you in any way, shape, or form, but... This is clearly... Okay. From The Verge, this is a reputable site. I trust this. This is on July 11th, so this was last week. YouTube drafting creator-on-creator harassment rules after Steven Crowder incident. I have no idea who Steven Crowder is, so don't even ask me on who the hell he is. YouTube is working on new policies to prevent creator-on-creator harassment. Now, first of all, these policies don't exist yet, so Combat Wombat, you know, saying that these policies already exist. Now, what's interesting is he says it would appear that YouTube will be taking action. He's not saying that they're going to. So that's number one. That's the first thing that I would say, Josh, you're wrong in your assessment to say that you can no longer critique other creators. Combat Wombat is making an assumption that his videos will be demonetized because of these new policies that YouTube are currently drafting. Cannot emphasize the word drafting enough here, guys. Drafting. Secondly, what I'll say about his post, where is it? Right here. He is jumping to the conclusion that if you criticize another YouTuber, it's hate speech. No. No. That's two very different things. what YouTube are trying to what is this in Steven Crowder harassment blah blah blah. What is this? I'm not fully sure what it is, but from what I can gather from this article, what YouTube are trying to do are trying to prevent situations in which, you know, first of all, as this article points out, creator on creator harassment does not have a clear definition yet. So Combat Wombat is already assuming that critiquing another YouTuber instantly means hate speech. No, that's wrong. It's wrong to assume that with these policies don't even exist, and he's assuming that instantaneously his videos are going to be taken down or demonetized. That's the wrong attitude. Number one, that's the wrong attitude. Secondly, right? By the way, we're quitting. We're not doing any more. Let's keep going on with the game whilst we talk about this.
Come back anytime to compete for cash prizes.
Mr. Combat Wombat is assuming that his videos will be taken down, that YouTube will take action against the videos, either by demonetizing them or by taking them down or whatever. And he's also assuming that YouTube will have a stance of, if you criticize another YouTuber, it's hate speech. But reading this Verge article, it has a great quote in here which says, creator on creator harassment doesn't have a clear definition yet. If, as you say, is what's going on, Combat Wombat is just critiquing people who do clickbait, that's not hate speech. And what they're trying to prevent is a situation with the Steven Crowder situation where this Mr. Crowder attacked another creator using homophobic language. That, I agree, they need to take action on. Because whilst I've said that YouTube needs to protect the rights to free speech of its creators, there are limits. Sure, Mr. Crowder can go and say any homophobic slurs he wants in public or in private, because that's his rights. But in a platform like this, where people on both sides, are watching this, this is what they're trying to prevent. They're trying to prevent situations where the use of homophobic or sexist or basically direct attacks on other creators are being done. They're not trying to say to Mr. Combat Wombat that he can't critique clickbaiters or anything like that. We're talking about two completely different things here. We're talking about a difference between critiquing another creator's content and flat out just abusing another creator. Big difference. Massive difference. Combat Wombat is going from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds flat without thinking about it. And if the comment you just said, Josh, sure, he critiques, but some of his fans attack the people he critiques, so there's a chance it might affect him because of that. It shouldn't. His fans have taken the decision to go and then attack those creators. That is not on Combat Wombat. That is not his fault. That is out of his control. He is not personally attacking the creator. If his fans are doing it, it shouldn't come back to hit him, because he isn't doing it. He's not doing it. He's not doing it personally. What YouTube want to do is prevent personal on personal attacks between creators. Provided that Combat Wombat does not make a personal attack on another creator, he's fine. He's perfectly fine.
Skid?
Anyway, guys, we are actually coming to the end of the hour and a half, so we are actually going to just about to wrap this up, the stream up for today. But yeah, what I encourage you guys, if you read a story like this, if you do hear something like this, research it. Do the research. Go and find out the information, because look, Combat Wombat is doing what, you know, he's human, right? He's reading this and going, well, shit, there goes my content. Right, why is the pause button not working? Because the game's saving. Come on. Right. Combat Wombat is being, you know, naturally humanly defensive. He's looking at this as a situation where he's going, oh shit, you know, because what's Combat Wombat got? He's got, you know, 105,000 subscribers. You know, he's got a few Patreons, you know, so he's clearly making a little bit of money from this. And what he's worried about is naturally, you know, he's worried about losing some income, and that's perfectly fine. That is a natural reaction to have. But it's clear that, to me, that looking at this post that he's made on his community page, linking to this article from a website I've never heard of and looks as legitimate as a Chinese iPad, if you go and do the research, and this is what I encourage you guys, if you ever hear something like this, go and do the research, find the information, and draw your own conclusions. Don't allow the creators to warp your opinions on this, because then you're not now, and I mean this right now for me as well. Don't listen to anything I'm saying right now take everything I'm saying right now with a grain of salt. This is personally my opinion and what my interpretation of the situation is. What I highly recommend you guys go do is you go and do the research for yourself and draw your own conclusions and interpretations. But my conclusion and interpretation from the information that I've just read in the past 10 minutes, based on Combat Wombat's message, community post, the dodgy website, but then going to The Verge and CNET, two reputable sites, it starts to open up that actually Combat Wombat probably doesn't have anything to worry about, because he's not directly attacking. His fans might be, but he's not. And provided that he can get across to maybe his viewers, or that he can distance himself from the people who are attacking other creators, he'll be fine. He's not flinging homophobic, racial, sexist, trans slurs across the internet to other creators. He's just critiquing their content. And there is nothing wrong with that. So, you know. But again, that's my opinion. You guys don't have to take it with a grain of salt. Go do the research for yourself. And decide for yourself. Josh says, but let's not forget, networks tend to steal money from YouTubers. But do you see YouTube doing anything else about it? No. Well, that's not YouTube's domain. If a YouTuber is part of a multi-channel network, an MCN, they have to sign a contract. That is outside the realms of YouTube. YouTube have no legal rights to contracts between multi-channel networks and creators. That is done outside of YouTube's level of authority. Multi-channel networks were created outside of YouTube. YouTube has nothing to do with multi-channel networks. So YouTube cannot legally do anything about it because it's not their business. The person who should do something about it, if a YouTuber feels hard done by a multi-channel network, it's their responsibility. They signed into a contract. YouTube has no ability to come into a legally binding contract and make changes just because it feels, as a company, just because YouTube as a company feels that creators being hard done by. They can't do that. Legally, they cannot do that. Right? Multi-channel networks, creators who are signed to multi-channel networks have contracts. And if a creator signs up to that contract unknowing to what's going on, then that's sad and that's unfortunate, but YouTube can't do anything about it. It's outside their legal ability to do anything. So, anyway. Alright, guys. I want to thank you very much for watching. I'm glad we had this conversation. Another awesome conversation. And again, guys, don't feel afraid to bring up these conversations. I do enjoy having these conversations with you guys. They're always great, constructive conversations, and I do enjoy them a lot. I will be back tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, with some more Ratchet and Clank 3. We'll be picking up where we left off today. We actually got through a decent bit of the game in an hour and a half. So, yeah, thank you to everyone who chatted along with me live and watched live. Greatly appreciate you all. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to finish this game this week. And I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. So yeah, but I do hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and at Jared_Hasten. Join the Discord. Add me on all the various gaming platforms. And yeah, until tomorrow, guys, I shall see you later. Thanks for the great bants. Thanks for the great conversations. But until next time, guys, I shall see you later. Farewell.